Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this adorable little card made with the Adorable OWLS stamp set, which is one of our free celebration items. And of course, if you don't already have a demonstrator and would like our celebration and mini catalogs, email me and I'd be happy to mail you one. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how I got started. I'm going to start with the stamping, and so I've got my little adorable owl here, and I'm going to ink him up with the Memento. I'm going to stamp him on my basic white cardstock with enough room so that I can die cut. And then I'm going to set that aside and bring in my strip. I'm going to use my Banner's Pick-a-Punch here, and I am going to slide this 1/2-inch strip into my punch, line it up in the center, and then punch. I like to punch first so that I've got my banner and I know approximately how far I want to stamp from the edge. I'm going to use the It's Your Day sentiment, and I am going to stamp that right here, about a 1/2 inch from the edge. And of course, if it's a little crooked, you can turn that over and try a second time. There we go. I've got that done and I'm ready to start coloring. For coloring, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Blends, and I've got my Soft Succulent, my Gray Granite, my Dark Calypso Coral, and my Pale Papaya. And so I am going to start with the Gray Granite, and I am going to color my little owl quickly. I'm going to be using the light Gray Granite here for his tummy and his face. Once I have his tummy, face, and his ears filled in, I can use my dark and do the rest of them. With his body completed, I can move on to his feet, and I'm going to use the dark Calypso Coral for that, and his beak. Now I'm just doing simple coloring, and of course you can add more shading if you would like as you move along. Next, I'm going to bring in my Pale Papaya, and I am going to use the Pale Papaya light for his eyes. And then I'm going to bring in the dark Pale Papaya for his hat, along with the Soft Succulent. I've got my little owl done, and I'm ready to cut him out with my layering circle dies. Okay, I'm going to start by assembling my card front, and I'm going to start with these first 2 layers of Designer Series paper and basic white. I'm going to add this first Designer Series paper piece onto my 1-inch piece of basic white, and I'm simply going to set that right down the center. And then I'm going to bring in my It's Your Day, and I'm going to place that right in the center of the Designer Series paper. And I'm simply going to tack that on each end here and a little bit in the center. And by placing that little adhesive on the end, I'm going to be sure that I catch both ends. So I'm going to lay that down right in the center. There we go. And then I can flip this over and trim. I've got that piece done, and I'm ready to bring in my card front. So I'm going to take my Designer Series paper, and as you can see, I use the polka dot side on one for my sentiment panel, and on the card front itself, I am using my plaid. I like the variance in color, and I'm going to fold this and use my bone folder while that's drying. And then I'm going to set this down onto my card front and decide where I want it. Now my little owl's going to straddle on that side, so I want it a little below halfway on my card front. And let's see, I'm going to place that right about there, lining it up with the edges. And then I'm going to take my little owl and I'm going to place some dimensionals on the back. And I'm going to add 4 to this layering circle die shape. That's a nice number and it'll pop it up, but allow a little bit of flex. I'm going to place this little guy right over here to the left of that sentiment and adhere him down. And now for a little bling. I'm going to bring in these beautiful 2021 in color opal rounds. They come in all 5 colors, so it's perfect for a project like this. And I'm going to do tone on tone. So I am going to pick up one of my little soft succulent, and I'm going to pop that right here above the little owl. I'm going to take a small one here and pick it up and place it right here on the panel itself. And then I'm going to take one more large rhinestone, and let's see, I'm going to place it here on the far side, simply to move your eye around the card front. So there you go, an adorable little card using the Adorable Owls stamp set that you can earn free during Celebration. This stamp set is part of our Celebration line that you get to choose from when you place a qualifying order. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.